Michael's muted. Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 2nd of October, 2020, to talk about everything that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. I thought Smackdown was an alright show. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was just alright. And I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's Smackdown. We're going to start our poll right now. New poll. What did you think of Friday Night Smackdown? What did you think of Smackdown? Start that poll while we let a couple more of you jump into the live chat. Liked it. I didn't like it. It was just alright. Alright, we'll let that poll go. We'll run that for about 10 minutes as we get started here. And with that, I want to remind you guys that we're here on Twitch, twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. If you want to support us here on Twitch, you can do so a couple of different ways. You can either give us some of those bit donations, or you can subscribe to the channel one of two ways. Either with a tiered subscription, or you could subscribe with Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming, and Prime Gaming allows you to subscribe to one Twitch channel a month that you want to subscribe to, and it doesn't cost you anything extra if you're already paying that $12 a month to Amazon for Amazon Prime. Also, remember, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. The number is in the live chat, and we'll be scrolling right down here across the screen if you forget it periodically throughout the night. I feel like I've got something tickling my nose. I don't know what it is, but let's talk Friday Night Smackdown. So Smackdown started with a recap of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso from Clash of Champions. Michael Cole opened the show and noted that they're celebrating their one-year partnership with Fox. Roman Reigns was crowned tonight the Tribal Chief, as that was our opening segment. Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman made their way down to the ring. Heyman apologized because he's a little nervous tonight. He pointed out that he's known Reigns since the day he was born. Heyman said that they're here tonight to declare Roman Reigns the Tribal Chief of the WWE. Heyman mentioned Peter Maivia, Alpha, Reigns' father, and Reigns' father, Sika. Reigns grabbed the mic from Heyman, and boy, I always thought Reigns was pretty good on the mic. I thought Reigns started out okay on the mic and progressively got better. And when he left the last time, earlier this year, I thought Reigns was one of the best they had on the mic. But tonight, and over the last couple of weeks, the promos that Roman have been cutting have been another level. Like, when he left before Mania, he was right here, promo-wise. Now he's, off the screen up here. His promos and his delivery, I guess it's just because he can be a heel. His heel delivery is way better than his promos have ever been. So Roman Reigns basically said that he doesn't want to talk about anything. He just wants Jey to come down to the ring right now because Jimmy acknowledged him as the Tribal Chief, but Jey wouldn't. Jey Uso's music hit, and he made his way down to the ring. Uso pointed out that he never gave up, and if his brother Jimmy didn't throw in the towel, he would be the Universal Champion. Reigns asked Uso if he thinks he's proud of what he did. He said Clash of Champions was the worst night of his professional and personal life. Reigns didn't want to do what he had to do. He just wanted to help Uso get in the main event and get that huge payday. Reigns says that he's known Uso since day one. All he wanted was to help him. He just wanted him to acknowledge that Roman is the Tribal Chief. Reigns said that he was born to be the Tribal Chief. He told Uso that he embarrassed the family and broke his heart. At one point, Roman even stated, "I love you more than your brother loves you, and I always have." Uso looked at the belt on Reigns' shoulder Reigns pointed out that Uso was still looking at the title and won't look at him. He offered Uso another shot at the title at Hell in a Cell. However, there was more at stake this time, and this will have the highest of consequences. Reigns walked off, but Uso didn't back down and promised to defeat Reigns. Michael Cole and Corey Graves wondered if these stakes what these stakes were actually referencing. Cole and Michael Cole also noted, well, I guess this match is going to take place in Hell in a Cell. So I guess Roman versus... They never officially said it's in Hell in a Cell, but everything that was hinted to tonight makes it seem like we're getting Roman versus Jay inside the cell. If so, I believe that would be 3 cell matches on the pay-per-view. WWE title between Roman and, Drew and Randy. SmackDown Women's title against Sasha and Bayley, because I think next week's going to end in some fuck finish. And then the Universal title match here. So as Roman left, AJ Styles' music would hit, and he came down and confronted Uso in the ring. Styles thinks nobody likes him, or like him. I wrote this wrong. Styles thinks somebody like him should get the next title shot. Styles continued to mock Jay. Jay said he had heard enough and rocked Styles with a super kick and sent him to the floor. Uso followed this up with a crossbody off the announce table. As it came back from break, the match was announced, I guess, starting. Uso versus Styles. The Uso and Styles had a good match here with a surprise ending. Uso did need the win, especially if he's going to challenge again for the title, and he got it. So Styles was trash talking early on, and Uso fired up and was briefly in control. Styles regained control and hit a big knee for a near fall. He went for the Styles clash, but Uso countered with a backdrop. Uso attempted a suicide dive, but Styles cut him off. Styles was standing on the floor as Uso dangled over the middle ropes. Styles gave Uso a suplex from the ring onto the announce table. After a commercial break, Styles was still firmly in control. Uso, though, did fight back and hit a Samoan drop for a near fall. Styles avoided a super kick and rocked Uso with a Pele kick. Uso sent Styles to the floor with an enziguri and followed up with the suicide dive. Uso attempted the splash off the ropes, but Styles got his knees up. Styles went for the phenomenal forearm, but Uso cut him off and rocked him with a super kick. Uso then hit the splash off the top and picked up the victory, defeating AJ Styles. After this match, they recapped the triple threat match from Clash of Champions for the IC title. In the back, Sami Zayn discussed winning the ladder match. He said he had both belts and noted that everyone expected him to gloat. Zayn was upset with management, but the blame is really on the fans. He talked about the tournament, Styles and Hardy winning the belt. Zayn then took Hardy's IC title and threw it in the trash. He promised to defeat Hardy later with the title on the line. Next up, we got basically a squash with Otis and John Morrison. They said that both Miz and Tucker were banned from ringside. They recapped The Miz getting Mandy Rose traded to Raw and the lawsuit on Otis. Otis then promised not to let them steal the Money in the Bank briefcase from him in court. Therefore, he's going to represent himself next week in court. Oy vey. This is going to be goofy, hokey, crappy. I'm going to say it right now. This is going to be bad. The match, like I stated, was pretty much a squash. Otis rocked Morrison with a hard forearm and took over control early. Otis was firmly in control and dominated most of the match. Otis hit a splash in the corner and followed this up with a caterpillar. He then hit a fader bomb and boom, pinned him. Pinned Morrison and picked up the win. Kind of the only finish they could do right now. At one point after this, they showed Sasha Banks in the back. Michael Cole and Corey Graves briefly discussed NXT TakeOver this Sunday night. Next up, we got another squash match. It was Sheamus and Shorty G. They showed a video of Big E from Instagram. He noted that the draft is coming up and challenged Sheamus to a pinfall count anywhere match, a falls count anywhere match, next week on SmackDown. Again, we had another squash match. Shorty G had the brief advantage early on and hit a German suplex for a near fall. Sheamus quickly gained control, hit 2 bro kicks, and picked up the victory. We then see Kevin Owens backstage. He was handed some notes for the Kevin Owens show, which is coming up next. No, the KO show. So the next thing was probably the third best thing on the show. No. Yeah, third best thing on the show. I think the best thing on the show was the main event match. Second best was the opening segment with Roman and Jay, and then this KO show. Alexa and Kevin Owens. This was really good. They said that Owens was here because of the brand-to-brand invitational. Owens said he is excited about the show because, well, the draft is coming and SmackDown might be his new home. He was wearing a Street Profits t-shirt. Despite being a Raw superstar, he said he's been paying attention to SmackDown very closely. He says he also has a lot of questions for his guest, Alexa Bliss. They recapped Alexa going into trance last week and attacking Lacey Evans. And I'm going to say it right now. Is it just me? Or does anybody else think that Alexa may have a better Sister Abigail do the move better than Bray? I think when Alexa does it, it's more fluid. I never realized that the move is supposed to be spinning around and your opponent just landing face first on the mat or ground below. I always thought it was supposed to be you spin around as much as you can and try to just pencil dive or not pencil dive, but spike your opponent's head into the ground. But the way Alexa does it, I really, really like it. The way she does it just like Bray, basically, but when she spins them around, it's almost like a flatliner kite deal where they just, boom, both fall flat on the ground with the opponent landing face first, boom, straight down. I like that. It looks more solid when Alexa does it. When Bray does it, I guess you could say it almost looks just like he's just doing it really quick and, I don't want to say sloppy, but not as good? I don't know. Let me know in the live chat or the comments below. Who you think does the Sister Abigail better, Bray Wyatt or Alexa Bliss? So Owens said he sees something different in Bliss. She used to be happy and smiling and always loving to be around. Bliss, well, she isn't that happy girl anymore that Owens met 5 years at the PC. He then brought up something that has absolutely nothing to do with Alexa and the Fiend. He said she's similar to his rival on Raw, Aleister Black, and wants to know if maybe the way she's gone dark is how Black has gone dark. What? What? No. She went evil, heel, crazy, because she came in contact with the Fiend. Aleister Black has done nothing in WWE with Bray Wyatt or the Fiend character. And this is where it got good. The way Alexa was describing being in the Fiend's presence. She said that she noted that people could change and asked, well, if Owens has ever changed, thought about changing. He said, this isn't about him. It's about Bliss changing and the darkness that is taking her over. Owens thinks that he can understand what's taking over Bliss. He can understand what's going on with Black. Again, the two have nothing to do with one another. Bliss talked about the feelings she gets when she's with the Fiend. She describes the chilling feelings that he gives her. Owens then said, I think you're brainwashed. And she said, yes, my brain has been washed. Owens noted, or asked if the Fiend was here. Alexa said, the Fiend is always around. He is always here. She said, Kevin, let him in. Owens knew something was about to happen, and he jumped up and pushed his chair away. The lights then slowly went out. When they came back, the Fiend was in the ring and attacked Kevin Owens with the mandible claw. Owens was taken down. The Fiend then turned his attention to Alexa Bliss. He stared at her for a moment before reaching his hand out. He grabbed her by the hand. She stood up and smiled at the camera as the two were hand in hand in the middle of the ring. Boy, this gets better every week. I'm really digging this. I'm really liking this. The Fiend is... Bray's great in the character when he can actually just go out there and do the character like he wants to do it and not have to be hokey with it. And Alexa is on another level right now, doing things just greatly. Alexa is very good in this role that she's playing right now. In this, I don't know what you mean about me being different. I don't know what you mean about me not being Alexa Bliss, the girl you've always known, Alexa. Like, I'm digging this a lot, and she's doing a phenomenal, fantastic job. So next up, we had a 6-man tag team match. It was Corbin, Cesaro, and Nakamura against Matt Riddle, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado. Kayla Braxton interviewed the babyfaces before the match, and she pointed out that the babyfaces actually asked for this match. Riddle said that the Lucha House Party came up to him in the locker room and asked him to team with them. She asked where Kalisto is, and I think it was Lince Dorado just goes, oh yeah, he's still in the locker room. Riddle also pointed out that the draft is coming up, so this might be their last time to team together. I think also Dorado said that Kalisto's head's so big, he can't get his mask on. So the match starts, and the babyfaces have the early advantage when Dorado caught Nakamura with a standing dropkick. I want to say something. Lince Dorado was wearing some really cool original Power Rangers Megazord-inspired gear that he made himself. And it's really cool when he makes his gear because he live streams for like 5 to 6 hours of him making the gear on his Twitch channel. I just think it's super cool how he makes the gear and being able to watch him do it. And you could actually go to his Twitch right now, and the last video he has up, video on demand, you can watch him making this gear. It's super cool. I think you only see him do the pants part. He already had the jacket, vest, and then I think there was a mask as well that looked like the Megazord head that he actually didn't wear tonight. But it's super cool to watch him and see how, the gear actually gets made. I guess I'm a nerd for stuff like that, and creative things. At one point, Kalisto did come down to the ring and noted that they forgot him in the back. After a break, the heels were in control. They isolated Metalik and cut him off from his side of the ring. Nakamura attempted an exploder, but Metalik landed on his feet and hit a tornado DDT. Riddle got the hot tag and ran wild on Corbin. Riddle hit the Broton and a running kick for a close 2. Dorado took out Nakamura with a handspring stunner. Metalik then took out Corbin with a huge dive. Dorado attempted a springboard stunner on Cesaro, but he blocked the move. Kalisto jumped up on the apron and accidentally kicked Dorado in the face instead of, I believe it was supposed to be Cesaro. Riddle hit the Bro Derek on Cesaro and picked up the victory. After the match, Lince Dorado shoved Kalisto and the two began to argue. Matt Riddle and Metalik broke it up and tried to defuse the situation. Something's coming with Dorado and Kalisto, and I think that match is going to be really good. So then, they recapped Bayley and Sasha and their feud thus far. We then got another video with the mysterious blonde woman, and we finally get it revealed that it's been Carmella all the time, and we've basically known that. She spoke this week talking about how she's playing by her own rules, not playing by anybody else's rules anymore, and she isn't just a princess. She says she's untouchable unless she wants to be. She also noted that the draft is coming up, and, she could be on SmackDown or on Raw after next week. It's unknown. I don't know where this is leading to, but at first I was thinking maybe she's supposed to be some prissy princess, but then she said, I'm not a princess. I thought she's supposed to be some model. I think really what she's supposed to be is what the Emelina character was originally supposed to be honest. So Sasha Banks came out to the ring, and this made no sense. Her challenge for next week. Banks was furious and noted that Bayley should have known she didn't need medical clearance to attack people, that she could just do it because it wasn't a match she was getting cleared for. She pointed out that she helped Bayley keep that title for nearly a year. Banks knows that Bayley isn't in the arena tonight because she's scared of what Sasha may do to her. Sasha would then go on to challenge Bayley for the one thing that she loves, the SmackDown Women's Championship, next week on SmackDown, and promised to win the title. Banks then took off her neck brace as the segment ended. Thought the promo was good, but why do we need the match now? The match is supposed to be and should be at Hell in a Cell, not just randomly on SmackDown. I get it. You want SmackDown to have some big matches so people watch, but does that mean needing big matches? Does that mean that you're not confident in the show, in just the show being the draft episode? You should be confident in the draft to, what's the word I'm looking for, draw a good number a good viewership number and not have to load it up with big matches. I mean, next week we got the women's title match. We got Big E versus Sheamus in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And it was announced the Fiend versus Kevin Owens. So I don't know. I'm assuming that there's some false finish or some dusty finish or some screwy finish that leads to maybe Bayley running away. And then Sasha saying, Bayley, you know what's going to happen? Hell in a Cell, you can't run away when they lock you inside the cell. When they lock you in the cell with me, there's no running next time. I think that's going to happen. Bayley's going to maybe get herself counted out or run away or something to where they need Hell in a Cell so Bayley can't run off. I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's going to be the plan. So next up, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line when Sami Zayn defended against Jeff Hardy. These two worked very well together and had a great match. I think this match had perfect storytelling, or near perfect. Also, guys, remember, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. The number's right there on the screen right now. And it's gone. But it's in the live chat. So Zayn had the early advantage, but Hardy took over by working over Zayn's injured ribs. Zayn's ribs were taped up as far as being still hurt from the pay-per-view. Zayn took back over and attempted to hit Hardy. Basically hit his head against an exposed top turnbuckle, and everyone was flabbergasted. How did it get exposed? Who exposed it? How did this happen? And so Hardy blocked the move and sent Zayn to the floor. At ringside, Hardy jumped off the steps. Zayn moved, and Hardy crashed hard. Not just into the barricade or on top of the barricade, but right here where the barricade lip is. Yes, boom. Holy crap, that looked like it hurt. After a commercial break, Zayn was firmly in control, and he slowed down the pace. They also showed that during Hardy's entrance, Sami took the pad off the top turnbuckle. Zayn backed Hardy into the barricade and scored threw him into the ring and scored a near fall. He then hit an elbow drop off the second turnbuckle for a close near fall. Zayn climbed to the top, and Hardy cut him off and hit him with a superplex. Great looking superplex. Hardy and Zayn traded hard shots in the middle of the ring. Hardy then fired back and took control. Hardy hit a drop kick and a splash for a 2. He attempted the twist of fate, but Zayn countered with a backslide for a near fall. Zayn attempted the blue thunder bomb, and Hardy rolled up Zayn for another near fall. Zayn regained control with the exploder suplex in the corner. Zayn then attempted to whip Hardy into the exposed turnbuckle. Hardy avoided it, and Zayn hit a blue thunder bomb again for a close near fall. Zayn and Hardy fought on the top rope. Hardy shoved off Zayn and attempted the swanton bomb, but Zayn got his knees up. Zayn attempted the haluva kick and almost ran into the exposed turnbuckle. Hardy went for the twist of fate, and Zayn pushed him off. Hardy then almost ran into the exposed turnbuckle, but stopped himself just in time. Hardy then rocked Zayn with a back elbow. He went for the whisper in the wind, and Zayn grabbed the leg of Hardy, and he crashed down hard on the exposed top turnbuckle. Zayn then crawled over to Hardy and pinned him to pick up the victory. Sami Zayn successfully defended the Intercontinental Championship against Jeff Hardy. Now, people are going to say, he cheated. He exposed that turnbuckle, and the fucker cheated. Well, duh, he's a heel. Would you expect any less from Sami Zayn? No, not at all. With it, I thought Smackdown was an okay show. Wasn't great, I thought it was pretty good. You guys, though, thought that the show was just all right. 80% of you thought the show was just all right. 13% of you said that you liked it, and 7% of you said that you didn't like it. But with that, next week's a stack show. It's the kickoff of the draft, women's title match, Falls Count Anywhere, and Fiend versus Owens. With that, read some text messages. Remember, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. First text message here says, Tim, 3 questions. Will the 2020 Hall of Fame inductees be inducted in 2021? Do you think The Undertaker will be inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2021? Undertaker thing, no clue. This year's Hall of Fame inductees, I believe that is the plan. They're just going to get rolled over to next year, and there won't be any new inductees announced and added for next year. That's what I've heard, at least. This person says, was it me or did Alexa Bliss sound robotic when she spoke with Kevin Owens in the segment? That was the thing. It wasn't that she was robotic, but she wasn't the normal bubbly Alexa Bliss. She was just more like, well, Kevin, you know, everybody needs to change. You should try changing as well, or something along those lines. But she had more of a monotone tone and tempo to her voice. This person says Sasha should lose at Hell in a Cell and be drafted to Raw and win Royal Rumble and challenge Bayley at WrestleMania. Your thoughts? That's kind of what I've been saying since the attack. When Bayley attacks, that's actually basically what I've been saying since Bayley attacked Sasha initially. Person says, Tim, what do you think Kevin Owens' involvement with the Fiend will lead to? I like the fresh idea, though. What's your thoughts? I don't think it's going to be anything. I think it's just a person I think it's a person at a mid to top mid level that the Fiend can beat for momentum. Because I believe after Jay, he's going to be the next challenger for the Universal title. And so if he gets some good wins over top guys, then that's good for him. And finally, this text message says, who do you see being the top faces and heels for each show after the draft? I'm not sure. Next week, I am going to do a special video about the draft and see, some thoughts and stuff. I got to think about it, though. I really got to think about it and see what I think happens with this draft. But with that, guys, I want to thank you for joining me here tonight to talk about Friday Night Smackdown. We'll be live again this Sunday night for NXT TakeOver 31, live on the WWE Network and live right here on twitch.tv/PWUnlimited. If you missed any of this live review or any of our previous reviews here on Twitch, you can check those out at youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember to check us out also on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Check us out on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and check us out on Twitter, PW Unlimited. Also, you can follow me everywhere at Timmy Buddy. So with that, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you Sunday for NXT.